Hello, everyone. This is Lisa from Power Wheelchairs for Success. And today we're going to talk about disabilities in general, but especially for those who have an apparatus attached to them, which is called a wheelchair. So I have one attached to me. You can see my headrest there. But I think it's an important topic to discuss because I'm gonna divide it into two parts so that it has some kind of structure to it because I can ramble a little bit, as you know. So let's start with rights. You have the right to be angry. You have the right to be upset. You have the right to be frustrated. You have the right to be angry. You have the right not to want to talk to people. You have the right not to socialize. You have the right to so many things. And I hope that makes sense. You have rights. However, on the other hand, you have responsibilities. You have the responsibility for yourself. You have the responsibility to care for yourself. If you have addictions, go to counseling, go to treatment. That is the only answer for addictions. And I'm serious about that. There is no magical answer that will snap you out of an addiction. If you're into alcohol, you're into drugs, you have to come within yourself. You have to convince yourself to go to treatment. There's not going to be a fairy, a magic fairy, or a magical dragon that's going to convince you to go to therapy. The energy to go to therapy is within you. So if you're not there yet, then you're not ready. And you're not convinced, then you're not ready. But you do have the responsibility to care for this body that is temporary. It is not forever. It can be for a long time, but that just depends on how many rights and responsibilities you practice in a positive way. So you have the responsibility to be supportive of the people who are around you. You have the right to push them away at times because you're in pain, you don't feel well, the wheelchair is driving you crazy, you're in pain, whatever it might be. But then you have the responsibility to come back in a positive air and reach out and say, sorry, I was having a bad day. Today's a better day. I slept last night. I got some rest. I ate some yummy things. I made myself, a milkshake. I watched a movie and I'm feeling better. So you have the responsibility to do that as well. You can be a little bit of a pain in the rear. You have the right to be a pain in the rear, but you also have the responsibility to turn yourself around. So this is important because especially for those who are just starting the journey, those of us who have wheeled down the road for a while, we've been through all those hoops of being angry, not wanting to cooperate, not talking to others, and we have the right to do that, but then we also had the responsibility to figure out how we were going to improve things. I'm going to move my camera just a little bit. Okay, there. It's driving me crazy. So, at this stage of the game for myself, I practice more my responsibilities. And once in a while, I claim my rights, my right to make my own medical decisions, my responsibility to be kind and courteous and respectful to others, even though I might be in pain or something's not working out or I didn't sleep the night before or, sometimes days just don't work. Sometimes nights don't work. So So we really have to work at, you know, and this is one of the things, I don't want to be preachy, of course. I just want to put in little tidbits here and there of my own story. Um, I can say that I went through all the difficult moments and I was crabby and people struggled to reach out to me and I kept on saying, no, leave me alone. And, but then I practiced the responsibility piece of just being a little bit more kinder, a little bit more respectful, a little bit more professional, and try to say in a kind, calm way, I have the right to make my own medical decisions, and that's where I'm at. And because a lot of people will give you a lot of ideas, a lot of recommendations, all kinds of ideas, and it's not what I needed. I needed support at that time. I didn't quite find it. I found a lot of, you need to be doing this. You should be doing that. I don't need to do anything. That's what I told them. Go away. And you have the right to say that. Go away. But at some point, you have to jump on the other side of the wall of responsibility and think about what responsibilities can you grab a hold of that you can handle. You don't want to try to be responsible in some area that you can't. You have to be realistic. You have to come to that full circle and get to the center of the circle and say, okay, what kind of things am I capable of doing? Whether you had a stroke, whether you had a car accident, whether you bungee jumped off a cliff and you're in a wheelchair. Now, my condition is based on illness. The end of my spine is not in great condition. My spinal cord is okay, but I have other conditions that affect my walking, so I'm in a wheelchair. I walk for short periods of time or short distances. Let's put it that way. And then the rest of the time I'm in the wheelchair. So I have the responsibility, to keep this body going to the best of my ability. I have the responsibility to be supportive of those who live with me and to kind of warn them when I'm not well. So if I practice the responsibility of saying, hey, I really need to lie down, or tonight I just can't do it, they'll be okay with that. But if I lash out, they're not going to know where to go with that. And they're going to be confused, they're going to be upset, because they care about you and they want to be with you, but you keep on lashing out. So, yes, you do have rights. And the right to be you, the right to be respected, the right to choose your own destiny, the right to choose your own hobbies, the right to change your room around so it's more comfortable for you, not for everybody else. So you have all those rights. The right to shift the kitchen around a little bit so that you can reach things and get what you need. The responsibility on the other side of the wall is to ask, hey, I would like to move these cans of XYZ down to a lower shelf so I can reach them, because I do use those a lot. I would like to, if nobody minds, I would like to shift things in the refrigerator so that I can reach them. I'm constantly having to use a knife or a machete or whatever to reach into the fridge so I can, so I can just see myself with a machete trying to reach things in the fridge. Now that's a visual for you. But, there's in this journey of ours, there's rights and there's responsibilities. And you have to add in that blank. I have the responsibility to, and I have the right to, yes, I have the right to be who I am, to find ways for me to be better, more comfortable, because this is going to be a long journey. This is not going away. This is a permanent condition for me and probably for you. And it's important for you. You have the right to be as comfortable as possible. And what's going to make that happen? Other people can't do that for you. So you're going to have to figure that out. Make a plan with your doctor. Put a counselor in the mix, so that you have a place, a safe place that you can talk about things that really mean something to you and you're frustrated or scared about something. Add a counselor to your team. You're going to need a team of doctors, your primary care doctor, which, will help you put things together or do a referral or whatever it is. And if you don't like that doctor and you don't get along with them, then you have the right to change that doctor. You really do. It's really important for you to get along with the doctors that you have, and if you don't, change them. You have that right. You have a responsibility to keep your health going and for you to be able to communicate in a positive way with your medical team. And if on the side, if you need to add a chiropractor, you need to add a counselor, please do so. Because you have the responsibility with your body, with other people around you, that you're less crabby, that you can offer to do something XYZ in the house or in the apartment you live in or in the assisted living situation. You have, a little bit of responsibility to do XYZ, even if it's a little bit here or there. But for you to think about, I can do this or I can do that. Here in the assisted living, I'm in charge of electronics. So anything that goes wrong, I'll help whoever with computers and laptops and tablets. And, I was just brought a radio CD tape player, and it was a mess. So I asked him to please put a label on it so we can get rid of it, because I don't want the next person to come by and ask me to try to check it out and fix it. Objects don't last forever. So that's one thing that's going out. So another member couldn't hear her phone, couldn't handle the voicemail. She had a very old phone, so we got her a caption phone so she can see the captioning, and she only has to press one button to get to her voicemail. It's those kind of things that it might not seem like much, but to them it's a lot. So I can offer that. I can get from point A to point B, whether it's walking short distances or whether it's hopping in my wheelchair and going to the other side of the building. So that is a way that I contribute. I'm not a mastermind in a whole lot of things, but I can be a mastermind and be supportive of the group I live with in small ways. So there are things that we can do. This YouTube channel is precisely for that, to offer the best I can, not only to the group where I live, but to all of you, and reach as far as I can for people with wheelchairs, because I care. I've been through a lot, and all of you have gone through a lot. So in those steps and those experiences we've had, we have wisdom. We have more wisdom than other people who do not use wheelchairs and do not experience disabilities. So we have the right to use that wisdom, those new skills, that passion in some area to keep on nurturing life within us. You know, a lot of people around you and around me are going to continue to say, oh, you should be doing this, or you should be doing that, or so-and-so could come and do this, and you shouldn't be doing that, and you shouldn't, and on it goes. But, you know, we have the right to say, thank you very much, but I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. So, oh, you know? So here we are. It's important to kind of think about, despite your disability, despite the wheelchair, which, you know, it shouldn't be despite, it should be more together, the wheelchair and myself, what can we do? Whether it's to have fun, whether it's to practice art, whether it's to fix electronics like I do, or whether it's to start a YouTube channel in some area that you're passionate about. You know, when I started this channel about 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago, there were hardly any. There's a lot of channels that have, they sell wheelchairs, or they're a company that shows off wheelchairs or gives recommendation for wheelchairs, but there is nobody talking about what really matters, to go to the core of the heart of things. And that's what I created this channel for, to give as many recommendations as I can, what I know about wheelchairs, but also to talk about the struggles that we go through. And I like to put some structure to it so I'm not rambling forever. Rights and responsibilities. And I think we know all the basics of our rights, but sometimes we forget, you know, our responsibilities, because still, despite the disability, we have a responsibility to, and you can name it. I just felt that I had a responsibility to contribute somehow to the community I lived in, even if I was in a wheelchair. So, I'm not dead yet. I can still provide something. And, you know, I do my art and I do the channel and, you know, keep on going to practice your passion. What is it? What is it? You know, you could say, well, I was an athlete. Okay, well, there's wheelchair sports, ton of it. I haven't put it here on the channel because I think there's a lot on sports, and I probably would do poor at it. I'm a girl, what can I say? I'm not too much into sports. So I'm not too much into cooking, although, you know, from a wheelchair, we don't have an accessible kitchen in this building, so I stay away from the kitchen. We have people who cook for us, so I don't have to worry about that. But those are the things that we all have to think about, you know, as people who have to deal with a wheelchair, or who have to deal with our particular disability, is what kind of things can I let go of? I remember the laundry. At first I was doing it and I was struggling, and man, and our laundry is just not set up for people with disabilities. I just don't understand it. So anyway, I did the laundry for as long as I could, and then I said, this is crazy. I'm gonna hurt myself in here. So no, I need help. I'm requesting help with my freaking laundry. I can't do this. Causes me too much pain, which it was, and it is. So I get the laundry ready, my dirty laundry every Wednesday, and the aides pick it up and do it for me, and they bring it back. So, and I put it away. I spend my time, when I have energy and I feel good, I just put my clothes away. So, that's a responsibility that I let go of because it was just torturing me. And it sounded like it was going to get better, and the danger was still there in that darn laundry room. So that's it, So if you can, spend some time in thinking about rights and responsibilities, where are you and what kind of things can you improve in one and the other? You have the right to XYZ. And what kind of rights can you grab a hold of? Can you speak out for rights? And then the responsibilities. What can you give? Because you can't always constantly be receiving. Although receiving, I have to say, sometimes is difficult because when you go from, being an able-bodied person to, all of a sudden you're not, and people are coming and helping you out, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel comfortable, and I agree with that. But sometimes we have to be open to the receiving. But what can we give back? How can we give back to others? Despite the fact that we're in a wheelchair. Again, if you have addictions, you're homeless, you have the responsibility with yourself, to turn that around. Say, no, I'm not going to live this way. I can improve it. I just need to find the right help, the right support, and get this turned around so I can live more comfortably. If you're in a bad situation, you're in a abusive situation, a crazy situation, then, the best thing is to turn things around and just say, okay, this environment is not for me. With a disability and a wheelchair, it's hard to deal with high stress levels. And I said that to the house because when I first arrived, there were some problems with the administration. Not with me. I was fine. But there were some issues with the administration. So, I hammered at it, and some other people hammered at it, and now we're kind of in a better sync. So now I can deal with it better because I can't deal with high levels of stress. I just can't. It makes me ill very quickly. So think about it, folks, especially those in wheelchairs. What are your rights right now? What are your responsibilities? Where do you need to be open to receiving, and where do you need to be open to giving back? So that's something for you to reflect. And, you can share that and put your ideas down, because each one of us, you and I, we have a particular story. And recommendations or tips are not always going to fit for everyone. So all I can do is leave the blank there for you to fill it in and say, okay, this is where I need to work at. This is what I need to improve. This is where I need to, start feeling a little bit more comfortable. But I'm going to need to change XYZ. So I'll stop rambling and let you think. Let you spend some time thinking and looking at those two areas. Just keep it simple. What are my rights right now, and what are my responsibilities? So work on that, and we'll see where it goes. This is Lisa from Power Wheelchairs for Success, and I want to thank you for coming to the channel, for listening to my rambles, and I'm hoping that the information is helpful and that it gives you something to work on, something to think about, and it it improves your current situation. So feel free to write comments, to share, to click the like button, to subscribe if you feel like you want to hang around, you want to come back to the channel and take a look at the other videos and the other rambles. So I should call this channel the Wheelchair Rambles. But anyway, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And feel free to hang out again. And I hope to see you in the next one.